Today is Tuesday, so that can only mean one thing. On air with Russell of Hotels. You know that live hospitality talk show everyone's talking about? Today is what I already said Tuesday. It's Tuesday, July 28th, 2026. Just in case, you're keeping score like, oh my God, this guy does this every week. Yeah, I do it every Tuesday at 1 p.m. So I'm a little late. I think I'm like a minute late, but I just got off with it wasn't a client. It was a partner. It was a hotel partner I just got off the phone with, just trying to finalize some things or get some things straight or clarify some stuff, when they send you over an RFP. Sometimes you just want to get some clarification. And guess what I do? I pick up the phone and call someone. I'm not going back and forth on email. No, I need to pick up that phone. And just so happen, I have this person's cell phone. Okay. So that's the hotline, right? So I just clicked on the hotline, like, hey, is this what I think it is? Is that what this means? All that kind of stuff. So I do this. This is a monologue part of the show. So it gives me time to make sure that I am live on the platforms I'm supposed to be live on. Let's see. I just connected Instagram. So I am live on LinkedIn, YouTube. Oh, shoot. Oh, man. I forgot something on LinkedIn. Let me hold on. Let's see. Let me just make sure that I am on LinkedIn because I did forget to do something over here. Let me see. Sometimes okay, no, I'm there. Okay. Oh, I almost did something I shouldn't have done. But yeah, so I'm live on LinkedIn, live on YouTube, live on Facebook, and live on Instagram. So if you're on either one of those platforms, just, give me a shout out. Just say, hey, what's going on in the chat. So make sure you get in the chat and just say, hey, what's going on? I see you. I hear you. This show sucks. Whatever the heck it is. I mean, whatever you want to do, yeah, go ahead and do it because I'm here for all that. Okay. So once again, this is the monologue part of it, just to make sure that I have my mic on. In fact, that's one of the reasons why I'm a little late, because I did forget to get my little lapel microphone. I know it's not on like it should be, but it's there, right? And hopefully it is working. But yeah, so it's been kind of busy, and that's a good busy where you're working on multiple groups, or I'm working on multiple groups. So working on multiple groups, different parts of the state. Now, normally I haven't done anything in the state, meaning California. I'm in Los Angeles, in a while, right? Consistently. But now I'm working on at least 3, 4 programs that are here in California, greater California area. But the one I was just working on was specifically LA, and I just got this one yesterday. Okay, and I'm like, okay, but it's the same organization I've been working with, right? So I got 3. This is the 4th one. So they already gave me 3. Then they gave me another one. See, that's what happens sometimes, right? It's either feast or famine. Either you're gonna get a whole bunch or you're not gonna get any. You know what I mean? So it's never like, we'll give you one. No, it's either gonna be, we're not giving you anything, or we're gonna give you all this stuff. Okay, so that's what's going on. So I do appreciate that. So I'm not complaining. I'm just explaining. Okay. So anyway, I see a chat right there. Let me just see. Hey, Russell of Hotels. Hey, cousin Sherry, how are you? Thank you so much. And see, if you make a comment, I put your comments on the screen in real time so the whole world can see, because we are international. Okay. It's not just here because I'm here in LA. It's not just California. It's international. Okay. So thank you so much, Miss Sherry Hatchett. Thank you so much for coming on. And thank you again for joining us at the family reunion. Thank you for being what do we call it? A committee member of the Love Family Reunion. So and thank you, Sherry. That kind of give me a segue, right? So we just had our family reunion this weekend in the City of Industry, which took place at the Pacific Palms Hotel Resort, which is right outside of Los Angeles. I would say about how many? Yeah, about 40 minutes. I'm gonna say about 40 minutes from my house. Um, so yeah, so it was good. We had everything in the same area. So at the hotel, we bowled on Thursday night. We had a picnic at Shabarn Park, which is on Azusa. So everything was all close, and they played golf, which that was the biggest faux pas. There was an issue that went on that I have to make sure I addressed it with the hotel. Is that the communication, or the people they have working with the golf, um, there needs to be more or better communication between the hotel itself and the people that are in charge of golf, right? Especially when you have groups with it or that are from the hotel. There needs to be more. It needs to be more seamless, and it definitely was not. And that's one of the things I'll talk about to the meaning to the hotel when I have the conversation with them to go, kind of a recap, right? You always have to have a recap. Once you have a group at a hotel, if you don't do a post con meeting or post convention meeting, you should get together and kind of have a powwow, if you will. If you don't do a post con, you need to do something, right? You need to have a post call and say, hey, these are things that worked, these are things that didn't work. Okay, these are things I think you guys need to work on. And that's what it's going to come down to, right? And so yeah, so every group that you have is never going to be 100% flawless. There's always going to be some things that come up, but hotels have to be willing to and open to listen to those things. And then we need to listen as well, right? If there's some issues that come on the hotel side that we were doing or we didn't do right or we did wrong or whatever, or maybe there's some issues that I don't know about, it goes both ways, right? So you have to be open to hear those things and be like, okay, all right, okay, I didn't know that happened, but I'll go ahead and address those things, right? So I see Miss Irene Escabel. Irene Escabel. Let me put her comments on there as well. See, that's what I'm talking about. See, when you come on and say some comments, you're gonna, the worst case scenario, I'm gonna put your comments on the screen, right? That's the worst is gonna happen, okay? That's the worst. So I appreciate you, Miss Irene. I see Velvet Style Biz over there on Instagram as well. I can't put her comments on here, but she did make a comment. So thank you so much, Miss Tiffany. I just had a conversation with Tiffany a couple hours ago about a situation, and I'll talk about that little situation in a minute. Okay, so like I said, this is the monologue. I normally take about 10 minutes to do this monologue part, and then I'll start the show. But let me just hold on one second. Let me hold on. Hold on. Let's see. Where was I? Where was I? Okay, let's get back over here. Okay, so once again, this is show 354. Maybe I didn't mention it. This was 354. Yeah, I've done 354 shows. I think people don't realize the magnitude of 354 shows. Okay, 354 times I sit up here and done this. Okay. Sometimes I just have to I'm trying to wrap my brain around this. Okay. But anyway, it is what it is. But no, I appreciate the people that have been with me from the start and people that, come in later as well, right? I do appreciate people that support the show, people that, will say, hey, I see your stuff and I see you post things. And what is that thing you do? I see you on Instagram. What is that thing you do? Or I see you on LinkedIn or Facebook or whatever, YouTube. I see you got a little show. You do a little show? Yeah, I do a little show. So anyway, but I appreciate all that, right? I appreciate the comments. I appreciate, the people that will make it a point to say, oh, to say whatever they say. I mean, 99% of the stuff is good, okay, but you got to have some haters out there too, right? Because it's this one rap song or rapper that says if you ain't hating, if they not hating on you, you're not popping. Okay, something like that. I can't remember how it goes, but if you ain't being hated on, then you ain't popping. So you got to have some haters out there. Unless if you don't want to be popping, then you ain't gonna have no haters, right? But I want to be popping, so hey, I gotta have some haters out there too, right? So I appreciate all the haters too, because it's not just about all the great comments and all that. No, everybody doesn't like what I do, and that's quite all right. It's okay, but I think there's more people. It outweighs the good, outweighs the bad, and that's all I have to say. So anyway, okay. So real quick, I had this quick conversation with Tiffany this morning, and I'm gonna talk about this on tomorrow's daily check-in. So this morning, I get this. It's like 7 o'clock in the morning. I get this email from someone. I'm not gonna mention any names today, but I got something from a hotel in Miami. It was the oh my god, well the why can I think about the hotel in Miami? The hotel in Miami. What is it called? It's part of IHG. Gosh darn it. Why can't I think of the hotel now? See, now I'm losing my mind. Why would I lose my mind like that? Let's see. I don't know why I can't think of the Kempton. Damn it, Kempton. So okay, so I got this email this morning from someone, a salesperson. That's what I'm thinking. From the Kempton Hotel, right? It says, "Hey Russell," like they know me. Hey Russell, I want to send you some information about, some maybe they have some deals or whatever they want to show. They recently renovated, whatever. It's the Kempton in Miami, right? Well, at this time, I don't have anything for Miami. So what I do is just, and I get emails like this all the time. So I just responded back, hey, thank you so much, whatever your name is, for sending me this. I appreciate it. Thank you for the information. Thank you for the update. Right now, I don't have anything from Miami, but when I do, I'll make sure I reach out to you and, thank you so much again. Keep in touch. Russell. Boom, done. Okay. Which I always do that, right? I always do that. So about 2 hours later, okay, it was a young lady. Okay. Her name was, JB. Let's just say it was JB. And about 2 hours later, it was about 9 o'clock. I get this other email, okay, from a different hotel, right? No, this was a destination this time. And I'm like, okay, but guess what? It was from the same person. So automatically I'm thinking, is this some AI stuff? Is this some AI gone wrong? So I'm thinking, like, why is this? Okay, so of course I'm gonna send a response, right? So I sent a response and I said, what, you forgot you just sent me something from the Kempton Hotel, 2 hours ago? Because I don't, like I said, I don't know if this is AI. I don't know if someone did it on, maybe they made a mistake. I don't know anything at this point. So maybe about an hour later, which is, good response time, I guess. I get an email response from this young lady, and she said, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry." And she explained to me that she has a consulting hotel sales consulting company. Okay, okay. So once she said that, I said, "Okay, I got it. Thank you so much. Appreciate it." So of course, every conversation I have is a potential topic for a show, right? Well, this is a potential topic, right? So I started writing notes down and whatever because, and I'm not mad as I'm thinking about it. As I now I got, now I know it's a person, right? Now I'm thinking about it like, is this what we should expect in sales moving forward? Okay, is this something new? You know how things evolve and change or whatever. So I'm thinking to myself, is this something new? Is this a new tactic that hotels don't have enough time to do certain things, so they're enlisting or they're contracting companies, separate companies, to come out and do things on their behalf. Emails and things like that, and following up and whatever. Okay, maybe they are. I don't know, but I'm going to find out more about it, right? But of course, I'm coming up with a couple of different things. Because I'm not mad at her for doing this. It just caught me off guard, and I wanted some clarification, right? And she said that has never happened to me before. So maybe they need to be a little more careful about who you send these things to. If it's two different hotels in the same day, you know, can you change that? Can you change it up? I don't know. But this is something I'm going to talk about in great detail tomorrow. So that's tomorrow, but I just wanted to share that with you because this is a monologue, right? So anyway, let me just get this thing started. What time is it? See, I'm already behind schedule, but that's okay. So let me get the what do you call this? Let me get the intro and we'll be back to start the show. Hey, Russell Hotels, Once again, on air with Russell of Hotels. Thank you so much for joining. Once again, this is show number 354. This is Tuesday, so it can only mean on air with Russell of Hotels. That was the intro, and now we're back to start the show. So hopefully, you guys got a chance to listen to what I was saying and like, oh, does that make sense, or is this the way we're doing in sales these days? And like I said, I'm not mad at her. Hey, I got a company too, right? So you got to do what you got to do as far as consulting is concerned. But hotels should be aware of how I can come across as well, right? But like I said, we'll get into that tomorrow. It's going to be a meaty, a meaty conversation with myself, right? Because unless someone tunes in, it's going to be a meaty conversation with myself. But I think it's one of those things that as as the sales departments evolve, there's going to be other things that are going to be popping up, and this is just one of those things, right? I just happen to be on the receiving end of it. Okay, so of course I'm always going to talk about that stuff, right? I'm always going to bring it up because I think it's good information, and I think it's something that we all can learn from, especially if we're contracting companies to come in and do certain things like that. And a lot of time, a lot of companies are doing these things. It's just that it needs to be it probably needs to be seamless, right? And there's going to be some overlap somewhere, right? But it's how you handle that overlap. And like I said, she did a great job of responding because guess what? If someone would have sent me something like that, like the response from me was like, I guess you just forgot that you just emailed me on another, from another property or regarding another property. And, and then she had to catch herself and like, hey, you know what? I apologize. This and that. This has never happened before. Blah, 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 blah. I'm a sales consulting company. Okay. Gotcha. And she even gave me her number. She's go, if you have any other questions, feel free to give me a call. Who would have done that? I don't think I would have, but she did. So you know what? You can't be mad. I can't be mad at her. So anyway, all right. So anyway, that's that. Okay, so I never do one of these shows where I'm not showcasing a hotel, and today is no exception, right? So I was over at the boom. I was at the H Hotel in Homewood Suites by Hilton LAX, right? So, and I know a lot of people that go to LAX, they've seen this hotel, right? It says H Hotel on the side and then Homewood Suites. I'm like, what is H Hotel? So it's the Curio collection of Hilton. So a lot of people have heard of Curio Collection, and H Hotel is part of that, right? So this is a dual property, a dual branded property by Hilton, right? So the H Hotel, which is a Curio Collection, and then the Homewood Suites, which is more of a long-term stay hotel, right there almost on the corner of what is that? Sepulveda and not Sepulveda, Century, and it would be Sepulveda, but it's not on the corner. It's almost to the corner, right? It's on the corner of Vicksburg and Century. Okay, but you can see the signs. You can see H Hotel, Homewood Suites. You can see that for days, right? So I had not been there in a while, right? So a friend of mine is now the senior salesperson there, right? And I just happened to be in the area checking out the Sheraton because I had not been there. The Sheraton is right next to where they are, and I hadn't been there in a while. So I picked up the phone and called and said, "Hey, I'm in the area. You have time to, come over? I mean, for me to come over and just show me around if you can." And she said, "Yeah, come on over. We'll have some coffee. I drink tea, right? Give me a chai." No, I had a matcha. Okay, I had a matcha because they have a coffee bean inside, right? Wha- I mean, you got me a coffee bean, right? So if there's a hotel and they got a coffee bean inside, that's where I'm gonna be, right? So I went there and got me a matcha. The matcha was good. It was very good, very flavorful. And then we sat and we talked or whatever. And then she was able to show me a couple rooms. Well, actually, I walked in a room, but she didn't show me. But it was a schedule. But I just, housekeeper was just finishing up a room. I said, "Hey, let me check that room out for a second." Every now and then, Russell of Hotels does stuff like that, okay? Because I needed to see a room, right? So, and this is the bar, right? So, this is the hotel I'm showing today. I have about 10 slides I'm going to show you. And then I got a special bonus for you too. So, and you want to hold on to the special for the special bonus one. So once again, H Hotel and Homewood Suites by Hilton LAX, 290 guest rooms, 5,100 square feet of meeting space. Okay. And a rooftop that is to die for. Okay. I can't wait to show you. Okay. So this is the bar that which leads into the restaurant of this particular hotel. This is the guest room that I happen to be walking by and say, you know what? Let me get a photo of that. Click. There you go. So, but I'm not sure. I want to say this is the H Hotel side because um the Homewood Suites, I would think because it's more long-term stay, there would probably be a cooktop, microwave, stuff like that, maybe a limited version of a home, right? Or an apartment or whatever, because that's Homewood Suites. That's what they do, right? So remember, this is a dual branded property. Some of these dual branded properties on the same floor, you go one way, it could be the H Hotel. You go the other way, it could be the Homewood Suites. Or I've been to other dual branded properties where certain floors are, one brand, and then another floors would be the other. Like so, all even number floors would be the H Hotel. All odd number floors would be Homewood Suites. I'm just throwing it out there as an example, but that's how some of these dual branded properties are. Meaning you go into one building, one address. On one side is the H Hotel, on the other side is the Homewood Suites. Okay, a lot of people have been through them and I guess they don't look at it like that, but that's basically what it is, right? That's basically what it is. Same address. Yeah, same address, just a different name on it. So there you go. So once again, this is a guest room. Of course, that's a king and very nice. Rooms are very nice. Like I said, I never seen the rooms. I've been to this hotel before because I use their free Wi-Fi. Okay. And the Wi-Fi is tight in this place. Okay. But I've never been to the guest rooms. And it's been open for some years now, right? But I've never checked out the guest rooms. Of course, that's TV. You see a little coffee maker right there as well. Little working desk as well. And this is in the lobby, kind of the I don't know, you would call like a living room area where they have like you can plug in right there. You see the monitor right there. You can plug in your laptop if that's what you wanted to do. Once again, this is where I get that free Wi-Fi. So you want to make sure if you need a free Wi-Fi, go ahead and take advantage of it because just tell them Russell of Hotel sent you. And this once again, this is the same area just around the corner would be that area I just showed you. So they have quite a bit of just sitting area, like a living room, if you will. Now okay, so this is their meeting space. Okay, so this is on the top floor, and I don't remember what the top floor is. Is it 11, 12? I don't remember. But this is a meeting space they have on their top floor, which opens up into the rooftop. Now, and I'm gonna say this, okay, and I said this on the video last week because I was there and I did a quick little impromptu video. Any hotel at the airport that has a rooftop deck or meeting space or whatever, they need to market the hell out of that. Because guess what? There's only two hotels at LAX that has this. Only two. This one and the Hyatt Place have rooftop space like this. I mean, and you got to remember, this is at the airport. Planes are coming, planes are going, unobstructed view of the airport. I can only imagine what this looks like at night. Okay. The only thing that you cannot do up here is smoke. Okay. Because in California or in LA, there's an ordinance where you have to be so far away from the building, right? And you're actually on the building, right? So that's a little different, right? So you cannot smoke here because I understand like, there's people that want to smoke cigars and things like that up there. And you can't do it. Okay. So there's an ordinance, there's a smoking ordinance. I mean, hotels are smoke free, right? You can't do that. So just because you're on the top of a roof doesn't mean you can smoke. Okay. No, you can't. All right. But the heck with that stuff. That's that part of it. But look at the space, right? And this is not all of it. I'm gonna show you how the depth of this space. Okay, these are of course, some chairs and like a fire pit or whatever. They have some high top chairs over there as well, or tables. I mean, I was blown away. Now check the depth. Look at the depth of this. Look how far this goes back. Can you just imagine a couple hundred people up there just, having a good time, bars up there, food, just little music going on, your function that you have, your fraternity functions, your chamber functions, your maybe a wedding party, maybe a reception, something. I can only I'll just say this. I'm speechless, right? I'm stuttering, right? But the possibilities are endless. But it has to be marketed. And I'm like, why didn't I know? I mean, I knew they had a rooftop, right? I didn't know what it looked like. I didn't know it was this big. Okay. The one that's at the Hyatt place down the street is nothing like this. Okay. That's a little bitty patio compared to this. Okay, you can run a track meet around here. Okay, it's probably 50, that's probably 50 yards right there from where I'm taking that picture to the end. It's probably a good 50 yards. I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking. Half of a football field. I mean, it's pretty expansive. If you have not been there, you're looking for something, a place to have an evening function, a get together, whatever you're celebrating, whatever the heck it is, a birthday party, turning 50. I'm gonna have it on the rooftop at the H Hotel. Oh my God, you need to come check it out. You guys need to check this out, right? So, but we need to do a better job of marketing, meaning hotels need to do a better job of marketing what you have. Okay. Not just, oh yeah, we got a rooftop pool. Is this the biggest asset to the hotel? Yeah, it's probably one of the biggest assets. I'm telling you what's not a big asset because everyone has it. Airport transportation. That is not an asset. Okay. That's not something that that's unique to this hotel. Every hotel at the airport has airport transportation. So the heck with that. This is a selling point. This is something that no one else has other than that one property, but it doesn't even compare to this. Okay. So if you went to both of them, you'd be like, I'm going with this one because I can get more people up here. And it's wider, it's expansive, and I got better views of the airport. I can see the planes, I can see all the planes coming in, not just the ones that are coming on this runway. I can look around and see all the planes coming and going. Man, it just, as you can tell, I'm excited, right? I should be selling this place. But anyway. Anyway, and this is their front desk area. Only thing I didn't like about this is that people are sitting down, right? And that's fine, right? It's just that I would think in order to be on the same level, they should have chairs for the guests when they come up and they can just have a seat, right? Then that way you're on the same level. Because I hate, I'm looking down on someone or someone's looking down on me, right? So, and look at that, that's exactly how it is. I mean, I'm not hating on the people that work there that's sitting down. That's fine. But the guests, you should be on the same level. Like, let me have two chairs, right? Two comfortable chairs for those two guests to sit down and they can have a conversation that's even, that's level, at eye level. Okay. That's just me, and that's how I'm thinking. But everyone doesn't think like Russell of hotels, obviously. I see Cheryl. Yeah, Curio Collection, Cheryl. How are you, Miss Cheryl? And of course, I see Miss Tiffany over there as well. So keep your comments coming. Appreciate you. So okay, so that's the H Hotel. And I think Cheryl has stayed there before. Haven't you stayed there before, Cheryl? I don't think you liked it. Something, can be a hotel snob sometimes, right? And I don't know if I think she stayed there. I recommended that she stayed there because some people people will call me all the time or ask me, hey, I just need a hotel for a night because I've been in LA for like several days, but I want to be close to the airport because I have an early morning flight. What would you recommend? It's either going to be this hotel or the one across the street, the Hyatt or whatever. So those are probably the two that I would recommend because they're the closest ones to the airport. And some people like the limited or select service hotel, which part of this is, right? It's not a full service hotel, regardless what the Curio Collection stands for and another property. And that's one thing that got me for this property, right? Because I know some other Curio Collection hotels, but because this is a dual branded property, I think they have to maybe, I don't want to say take the Curio Collection down a couple of notches because it's not consistent with, like, say there's one in San Diego, a Curio Collection, a Hilton Curio Collection. It's different. It's a little different. That's all I'm gonna say, right? And the service could be a little bit more elevated there. And because this is part of a dual branded property, and that dual brand is a Homewood Suites, I think that kind of takes down the H Hotel a little bit. I'm not saying anything wrong. I'm just saying, what I'm thinking, what I'm feeling, and when I go there, right? And I go to a lot of hotels, right? So yeah, I think you guys understand what I'm saying. But if you don't, oh well, then don't. Okay. So I'm on one today. So anyway, okay, I told you I was going to give you a bonus. Okay, not a lot of people know this, right? But and people, outside of LA, especially don't know this. They may have heard, they may have flown in and seen all the construction and all that. Well, there's still construction going on around LAX, right? That's Los Angeles International Airport. But the bulk of the construction that's going on has to do with the Skylink or the people mover, right? That they're putting in, right? Transportation from the terminals that will take you to a place where the hotels will pick you up, and then the rental car places, right? Which means it should eliminate a lot of the congestion inside the airport. Now it's going to create some congestion somewhere else, but hey, they're talking about the airport, right? We're trying to limit the congestion at the airport, okay, in the terminals, right? The transportation, all the buses that are going in there. Okay, well, just take that and listen to this and check this out. Okay, so that right there, that was the new Skylink or people mover that they're installing or constructing at LAX, right? So a lot of people have seen the construction. Everybody's complained about all this construction. Oh, it's so congested. Oh my God, this sucks. Oh, and it has sucked. And it's been going on for, I don't know, 4 or 5 years, right? Well, it's coming to the end. So October 6th of this year, at least that's the date that they think is going to be done, where it's going to be open to the public, right? Meaning you can get on there, you can write it. Right now, they're in the process of testing it. So I think they're doing, I want to say 60 consecutive days of running it, to and from the terminal, from the what do you call it, the rental car place to the where the buses would pick you up to take you to the airport, and I mean take you to the hotels. I mean, the transportation won't be able to go inside of the airport anymore, right? The buses and all that will eliminate it, but there will still be, I guess, a pickup place for those buses to be, right? But it should eliminate altogether the rental car, like Hertz and Avis, all the buses they had and vans picking people up. That should eliminate that 100%, because once you get on the people mover or the Skylink, it's going to take you to the new rental car terminal or rental car place location, right? Which is at the very end. I think it's on Concourse. Concourse is near where the Westin. If you know where the Westin is, that's where the new, it's like a multi-level, huge ass building that has every rental car place in there, right? It's like 3 levels. I mean, it's crazy. It's gonna be crazy. I hope I don't have to rent a car there. That's for sure. But the thing is, we're gonna eliminate the traffic at LAX. Okay, that's what you want to do. All the congestion should go away. And once again, the date for that is October 6, 2026 of this year, right? So they're working on it right now. So if you happen to be driving by and you see the people mover or the Skylink going around. It's practicing, right? They're getting all the bugs out, and hopefully everything goes well. There's no hiccups where this thing could start on October 6th. So that's something that a lot of people don't know about, because I posted this a couple of days ago. People were like, oh my God, I didn't know this. Didn't know that. I don't go to LAX that often. I just know there's a bunch of construction. That's all I know. Congestion, and I hate that place, right? Well, I think this is going to eliminate a lot of the headaches and the congestion. So I'm looking forward to it, right? So it seems exciting to me, right? I want to just, if LA World Airports need someone to just ride around on that and give and evaluate it and make sure it's doing okay, working the way it's supposed to, hey, contact me, okay? LA World Airports, or LAWA, that's what they call it. That's the acronym, right? Reach out to me. Russell of Hotels will get on that darn thing and ride it all day long. You need somebody to do it for 8 hours a day? I'll do it, okay? Does Wi-Fi work in that thing? I don't know. Anyway, all right. So to the topic, and we got time here, right? So I think I'm good on time here. So where am I? I'm just check over here on Instagram, see if any comments. No comments over there. No comments here in the chat. So, okay. What's the topic for today? When did hotel sales become marketing too? That's a good one, right? When did hotel sales become marketing too? Where did this topic come from? Okay, now if you guys have been watching the show today, I kind of hinted that hotel people don't do a good job of marketing things. I.e. that for example, that's what IE means. For example, that the rooftop at the H Hotel, right? The Curio Collection, right? The Homewood Suites. They don't do a good job of marketing that. No one knows that it's there. Okay. No one knows it even exists. Okay. Meaning they don't do a good job of marketing it. Okay. So when did hotel salespeople become marketing too? Well, let me just start this. Let me just start this, because if I'm back on property, this is just from me to you, right? If I'm back on property, it's all about visibility for me. Okay. It'd be visibility for me. It'd be visibility for the people that work with me or for me or work together, or however you want to put it. We'll be so darn visible. We would know everything that's happening. We'll be doing videos. We'll be having so much fun. It would be, my dad would say, it'd be a crying shame. It'd be a darn shame, all the stuff that we would do. Okay. Because I think with the advent of social media, right? And I always mention this, right? I always say this. Back in the day when I was on property, and this is probably years even before that, because I was on property maybe about 7 years ago. That's when I left. Social media was out 7 years ago, right? But we were not using it like we're using it now. Visibility was not, that was not something I was saying, hey, we need to be more visible. I was not saying that then. Over the past 7 years, I started to learn, like, how does the social media work? And it has to do with being visible. And for whatever reason, visibility creates credibility. Visibility creates credibility. People see you. I know I repeated myself. People see you and they're like, oh, he must be a credible source. Okay. Because we see him all the time. He's always talking about hotels. So he must know what he's talking about, right? That's how people think. So we have to make sure we take advantage of those things. LinkedIn, the lives on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, whatever your platform of choice is, we need to take advantage of that. But it's not one and done. That's where people fail to they get it twisted, or they forget about it. It's not just one time and it's good. Things are going to fall in place. No, you have to continuously do it. Just like I've done 354 episodes of this show, right? Well, if I did one 7 years ago, do you think you'll be remembering it now? No. So that's why I have to continuously do it, because I want people to remember who I am, what I do, and how I can help you, right? That's how it works. That's where that whole visibility thing comes into play. People forget about that. So let's just say I work at the H Hotel, right? And we have this rooftop space. I have to continuously talk about it. Okay. It's not a one and done. It's over and over again. Oh, did you know we have a rooftop? Did you know that we're the only one? There's only two here, and we have the largest one here. We can do up to 250 people, including this, including that. It'd be ideal for birthday parties or receptions or showers, whatever the heck it is. You need to sell it, right? Or just market it. We're not even selling it. We're just letting people know that we have it. Okay. And that's where we kind of drop the ball, right? We have all this access to all this stuff. Your phone, right? We all carry around a phone, but we don't know. We're not as creative as we should be, or we're just not just using our phone, right? Just we use the phone for everything else. We're taking pictures of everything else and posting it. Stuff that don't even make sense, stuff that don't benefit us at all, right? But when we're at work, we're not. That's the first thing from our mind, taking a picture of that space and sharing it with people. And that's something. That's what really gets me, right? But that's why I'm here to talk about it as well, right? So I think I see a comment. Let's just real quick here. Afternoon, cousin. Hey, Jamie, how are you? Thank you so much for joining us. I'm on a rant right now, so please excuse me. So the question or the topic is, I'm sorry, I'm supposed to be reading this. See, I get caught up and I'm supposed to be reading this, right? So when did hotel sales become marketing too? Oh, when did hotel sales become marketing too? Think about it. Today's director of sales and marketing, sales managers, and business development manager isn't just expected to respond to RFPs, conduct site visits, and negotiate contracts anymore. We're not just expected to do that. Today, you're expected to create content, post on LinkedIn, promote your hotel, highlight your destination, support your revenue strategy, and help build your hotel's brand. Okay. And this is not just for hotel salespeople, right? What about destinations as well? We don't do it in destinations. We don't do enough about it. All these places, these out of the way places, these unique places that we have for people to meet in or to rent out, or this space that's unique that no one else has this in this town, or even LA doesn't have it, whatever the heck it is, right? We don't do a good enough job of doing that. And then sometimes we handcuff our employees. We want them to do things, but we have a PR company that does that. Oh, we have this that does that. Well, that's putting a kibosh on their creativity, right? Maybe they want to do things, but I got to get permission to do this. I got to get permission to highlight a destination that I represent. It's not like you're doing anything crazy, right? You're doing things within, in perspective of that particular property or whatever, or what you're doing, right? So we put too many handcuffs on people to stop them from being creative. You know what I mean? So to me, it doesn't make sense, right? To me, I'm back on property. You can do whatever the heck you want to do. Get your own page. You're going to have your own page. Part of the hotel, right? It's part of the hotel. It's going to be separate from your personal, let's just say Instagram. It's going to be separate from your personal Instagram, right? It's going to be, Russell of Hotels, who works at XYZ Hotel, right? So I'm going to post only things that have to do with the hotel, only that have to do with what I do, right? I'm showing videos. Hey, I'm at this venue. It's one of those out of the way places. Well, I'm here to tell you that this is a great place to be, blah, blah, whatever the heck it is, right? We as salespeople, we have to be marketing too. We do. We're expected to do it, right? And for any director of sales that's not expecting these things, well, they're just a director of sales. They're not a director of sales and marketing. They are a director of sales. And I'm not hating on the sales part. I'm just saying that we need to do more marketing. Okay. And we're not doing it. It's branding and marketing. They go together. Sales is something totally different. Okay. All right. You guys getting it down? Probably not. Okay. So today you're expected to create content, post on LinkedIn, promote your hotel, highlight your destination, support your revenue strategy, and help build your hotel's brand. In many hotels, sales and marketing are no longer separate jobs. They're one job. So let's talk about it. Okay. Let's jump into it. Okay. Let's do that. It won't take long. Don't worry. Let me just find it here. Let me just find it. Number one, your job description has changed. Years ago, success was measured by how many sales calls you made or how many contracts you signed. Yeah, I think you're still judged by that, right? Today, you're expected to do all that, but now you're expected to be more visible. At least that's what I would expect, right? And this is a lot of this has come from Russell of Hotels, right? This is what I would expect. I'm back on property. You need to be visible. In fact, when I'm doing during the interview process, hey, how visible are you as a sales manager in your previous job or the job that you have now? I need to know this, right? Because guess what? If you don't want to be visible, if you're not visible as you should be, well, maybe you ain't the person for this job, right? Because I'm trying to push the bar, right? We need to go to another stratosphere as far as visibility is concerned. Because the ones that are most visible, they're going to get the business because people are going to know that they're there. They're going to know about their hotel. They're going to know about them as a person because we're going to share those things, right? And if you don't know how to do it, guess what? I'm there to train, right? Russell of Hotels didn't just start yesterday, right? This is what is 2009? Damn, 2019. Okay. That's when I started this show, right? Everyone didn't know me then. They don't know me now, right? But there's more people that know me, okay, or they know what I do or whatever. So it takes time to build up to this, right? And remember this, and I always say this: social media is not for the people that already know who you are. It's for the people that don't know who you are. Mm. Who thinks like that? Who the heck even thinks like that? Only me. You are oh my God. Oh my God. Someone said in the comments, you are the brand. Oh my God. I had we call it a heart palpitation. Okay. Like my heart skipped a beat because someone said that. Who was that said that? That was Cheryl. Okay. You are the brand. People don't realize the power of you and your brand. My brand is Russell Edmond. I mean, I go by my company is called Russell of Hotels. So when people say, hey, you're Russell of Hotels, yeah, that's me. I am the brand, right? They will buy me before they buy anything that I'm selling. Okay. They will buy Cheryl before they buy anything that she's selling. All right. Tiffany, they will buy Tiffany before they buy anything that she's selling, right? So whoever's at what XYZ hotel, okay, let's say the Homewood, or the H Hotel at LAX, right? Doreen Mills is the senior salesperson there. They're gonna buy her. They're not just gonna we're gonna buy the hotel. We want to stay here. No, Doreen's the one that represents it, right? They have to be comfortable with her before they say, hey, we're ready to move forward because she's a representative of that hotel. Okay. So if she's professional, they're going to assume everyone at that hotel is just as professional as she is. Okay. So that's what it comes down to. So thank you, Cheryl. It's all about you and you're the brand that they will buy from. Okay. The hotel's not calling. I can't think of the last time a hotel picked up the phone and called me and said, hey, who is this? Oh, this is hotel. Well, which one? This is the H Hotel at LAX. Oh, really? I didn't know you can call people. No, there's someone from that hotel that will call me. Okay. That's it. You don't get hospitality from the hotel. I walked in and why'd you like that hotel? Oh, it just gave me this feeling of hospitality. Oh my God, it was great. You don't get that from the hotel. The building is not giving you crap. It's the people that work there and their brands as well, right? They may not be salespeople or whatever, but they have a brand that they represent. They are the brand, right? So it starts with us, okay, but we represent not just ourselves as a brand, but we represent that building, okay, which is that hotel, H Hotel, the Kempton, whatever, the Hilton, the Hyatt, the Marriott, whatever. There's always going to be someone up front before you even get to that, someone that you're building a relationship with. You're not building a relationship with the hotel. Remember, hotel's not a real person. It's not a person at all. It's a building, but it's the people that make the biggest difference. So thank you, Cheryl. Whoo, man, that is man, my heart rate is getting back to normal now because when someone says stuff like that, and man, it just sends me into a tizzy. Oh my God. Woo, I'm on one today. Okay. Can you figure it out? What time is it? Oh shoot, I got like 9 minutes to go through this whole thing. Okay. Okay. Number one, your description has changed. Okay. Years ago, success was measured by how many sales calls you made. Today, you're expected to do all that, and now you're expected to be more visible. If someone Googles your hotel or finds you on LinkedIn, what story are they seeing? So, someone, this is a good point. Make sure whoever's in charge, hopefully, it's the director of sales and marketing. Make sure every hotel has a LinkedIn page. So if you just go to LinkedIn and type in, go to the space bar and just type in, or the subject line or whatever it's called, type in the name of your hotel. Does it pop up? Is there a link to the company page? If there's not, you need to make sure you have one, especially on LinkedIn. I'm You should do it on at least 5 different platforms. I'm not going to go into all those, but I'm going to say LinkedIn because it's business to business, business development. It's a business development tool. LinkedIn is not Facebook. Okay. So let LinkedIn be LinkedIn. Let Facebook be Facebook. Okay. They should not overlap with each other. One is business to business. The other one, Facebook, the stuff that's personal, like the family reunion, all that, I'm not posting that on. I didn't post everything that had to do with my family reunion on LinkedIn, okay? Because the family reunion, although me finding a hotel, all that was part of my business, right? Me, sourcing and all that, that was part of what I do, right? But the end result, I took a lot of photos and all that stuff, picnic and all that stuff. That stuff is not, for me, it's not suitable for LinkedIn. So you'll never see that stuff. So that stuff is on Facebook. So when I say let Facebook be Facebook and let LinkedIn be LinkedIn, that's what I mean, right? We don't need to put all this stuff that we put on Facebook on LinkedIn and vice versa. Okay. So just, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm talking about. So yeah, so if someone Googles your hotel or finds you on LinkedIn, what story are they seeing? Okay, so that was number one. Number two, let me get through these. Number two, every salesperson is a marketer. Whether you realize it or not, you're marketing every day. When you post photos of your meeting space, you're marketing. Okay. When you highlight your chef, your renovations of your guest rooms or your guest rooms, you're marketing. When you celebrate your team, showcase an event, or share what's happening in your destination, you're marketing. Every piece of content either builds your hotel's brand or misses an opportunity to. Okay, so just make sure that we're taking advantage of that. We have all these tools at our fingertips, but we're not taking advantage like we should. Number three, you're marketing yourself too. This is something that I think this is what Cheryl talked about. Here's something we don't talk about enough. Meeting planners don't just, oh no, this is something different. Okay, my bad. Meeting planners don't just evaluate hotels, they evaluate people. They want to know, okay, before they reply to your email, many will visit your LinkedIn profile. Okay. Like say you send something that you email something to somebody, whatever. I'm going to look at your LinkedIn profile. Who did this come from? Am I connected to them? I'm going to look up and see if I'm connected to them. I'm going to look and see if you have a photo there. If you don't have a photo, I'm not going to link in with you. And normally I probably wouldn't do business with you because no one is going to do business with someone they can't see. I had a person, this lady on, I can't think of her name, but she's on Instagram. This is some years ago. So she's like this Instagram coach, right? And I had a logo. I had my Russell of Hotels logo. In fact, this right here, This was my profile picture on Instagram. And she said, "You need to change that." And I said, "Why?" And this is all through like a text message or whatever. And I said, "Why?" And she said, "No one wants to do business, or no one's going to do business with a logo. They're going to do business with someone they know, they see." And I'm like, ding. I was like, wow, that was heavy. And it's true. Who wants to do business with either a blank avatar or a logo? I can't see that person. Okay. So no, people want to do business with people they can see because once again, you get some kind of credibility for that, right? So with a logo, I mean, logo's nice, whatever, okay, but ain't nobody gonna do business with that. So it made so much sense when she said it. But I was like fighting it, for like 30 seconds, like, well, I worked hard to get this logo. What do you mean you're not gonna do business with it? And it didn't make sense for me to put it up there. So I changed it immediately. Man, they want to know who you are. Are you active? Do you know your market? Are you someone I want to work with? People often build confidence in you before they ever book with you. So they're starting off early. They're looking at all the stuff you posted. They're looking at your profile and what you wrote about yourself, or your company, or whatever the heck it is. They're looking at all that stuff. I do the same thing. And then I decide at that point, do I want to connect with those people? If I want to connect with you, that means more than likely I want to do business with you. If I don't connect with you, that means I don't want to do business with you. Hmm. So there you go. So you're marketing yourself too. Number 4 is visibility. Visibility is no longer an option. One thing I've learned is this: many of my opportunities begin with someone saying, "You're Russell, right?" Or, "I've been following your content for months." Someone always says that, right? Like, "I know you from somewhere, right?" I said, "No, I don't think so. I've never been here before." And then they're looking at, I've had this happen. I've checked in a couple hotels on the East Coast, right? And someone says, I think I know you from somewhere. I'm like, "No, I don't think so, buddy. But can you check me in? You're on LinkedIn." And I'm like, "Yeah, I am. Yeah, you're that Russell of Hotels or something like that." Now that by this time they've put up my reservation, they see blah 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 blah, right? Like, "Yeah, I see your stuff. I watch your stuff. I watch your stuff. Yeah, it's good stuff." They'll say stuff like that. So I know it works, right? Visibility is no longer an option. You got to be visible, right? Especially in this hospitality world that we live in. If you're in sales, you have to be visible. It's no longer an option. Russell, I've been following your contact for months. That's the power of showing up consistently. It's not just one and done, right? It's consistently. I'm not saying you got to do 354 shows in order for people to know who you are, but you have to be consistent. Okay. You have to continuously post things, right? Unless you don't want to be known. If you don't want to be known for what you do, but being an expert in your field, then don't do it. And that's fine. That's the easy way out. I don't want to do it. Okay. I don't care about that. All right, well then don't do it. Well, if I'm back on property, guess what? You'd be the last person I hire. Woo, that was a good one. Visibility builds familiarity. Familiarity builds trust. Trust creates opportunity. So here's my challenge for every sales professional. Don't think of yourself as just someone who sells rooms or meeting space. Think of yourself as one of your hotel's most important marketers. Every post, every conversation, every video, every site visit, every relationship, they're all marketing. Because in today's hospitality industry, you're not just selling the hotel, you're helping build the brand. Boom, that's it. Drop the mic. I'm out. So yeah, so just be visible, be intentional, be remembered. And if you're not visible, you're invisible. I don't think I can say it any better than that. If you're not visible, you are invisible. Okay, so real quick. Okay, so I'm done with that. And I just got to go through who's hiring. Okay, and then we'll be done. And these are in the greater LA area for the most part, I believe. Yeah, greater LA area. Okay, so who's hiring? You ready? Courtyard and Town Place Suites, Hawthorne. Now that's another dual branded property, I believe, right? Courtyard and Town Place Suites, or maybe they're in the same complex. That's in Hawthorne. They're looking for a director of sales. Hilton Glendale, they're looking for a corporate sales manager. And Glendale is about from downtown Los Angeles north. What is that? Maybe 5-10 miles, I guess, something like that. So Hilton Glendale looking for a corporate sales manager. Sonesta LAX, formerly the Crown Plaza, they're looking for a sales manager. Courtyard Marriott Hacienda Heights. Now, Hacienda Heights, I used to work there. That was my third hotel out of 14. Hacienda Heights. Yes, I opened that hotel 100 years ago. I wasn't general manager though. I opened it as a housekeeping manager, and then that's where I got my front office training at this property. So they're looking for a general manager. Okay. Spring Hill Suites in Downey, they're looking for a sales coordinator. The Embassy Suites Glendale, which is right next to the Hilton, they're looking for a sales manager. The Fairmont Santa Monica, they're looking for a DORM, DORM. What does that stand for? Director of Revenue Management. Okay. The one that sets all the rates, right? They close out everything. I'm going to close that out. No more Expedia today. Okay. No third parties on this day. We're taking it out. We're taking them out. Okay. And then the last one, this is the one I would go for. Okay. This is the one I would go for. Pasadena CVB, they're looking for a national sales manager. And something I just learned today that, and this is a quick shout out, right? And it has to do with Pasadena. Shout out to Matt Horahan. He retired, right? So that's why there's an opening at Pasadena CVB, because Matt Horahan retired. So shout out to Matt. So if you guys know Matt, make sure you guys, say hello or get him a shout out, however you want to communicate with him. That's on you guys, right? I'm giving a shout out to Matt Horahan. I used to, I've known him for years, 20 something years, right? So since the early 2000s, when he was still with LACVB. So a lot of people don't know he was with LA Tourism before he went to Pasadena. So I knew him at LA Tourism because we worked together on a group. This is when I was a director of sales and marketing at the then Hilton in San Pedro. It's now a DoubleTree, but when I worked there 20 something years ago, it was the Hilton in San Pedro. And Matt, we worked together on this. It was I can't remember, a school group, or I can't remember what it was, but we ended up booking at that hotel. So, and then we've been lifelong friends ever since, right? So when we went to Pasadena, of course, you follow people wherever you go, right? If you have business for them. But no, Matt was a good guy. So congratulations to Matt Horahan. Congratulations on your retirement, and much success in your retirement, in the different life, once you get away from all this stuff. So there you go. So that is it. So I want to thank you guys so much for joining On Air with Russell of Hotels, that live hospitality talk show everyone's talking about. I hope this was good for you guys. There's a lot of good information there. So just make sure you go back and listen to it. If you're on the late show, the late freight, and you like just joining in, like, what is this guy talking about? Go on the replay, because it doesn't matter if you listen to this on the live portion or the replay. I appreciate you guys just listening to it. So there you go. So shout out to everybody out there. Any questions at all, click on this right here. This is called a QR code. It has all my information there. Click there. My email's there. I believe it goes to my website. All the information is there. So just go and click on that QR code. If you notice, almost every scene that I go to, I don't think it's on that one, but if I click there, oh, it's not there. Huh? Damn it. Oh my gosh. Okay, it's there. Okay, so it's there. So it's not just on the last one, but if you ever see that, that's a QR code. So just click on that and all my information will just spew out. So thank you so much, cousin. Let me just throw that out there. So afternoon, cousin. Thank you so much, cousin Janie, for coming on. She's over there on Facebook, and she said that's some great information. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys coming on and making yourself known, because that's what it's all about. And once again, shout out to Matt Horahan. I just want to leave that up there as I leave the show. But no, thank you so much, Matt, for being a good friend, the constant professional. We appreciate that, right? They don't make many like Matt. Okay, so I appreciate him. So there you go. And once again, Pasadena is looking for a national salesperson. In fact, out of all the positions I just mentioned, this would be the one I would go for. Okay, so you guys need to think about it. So anyway, that is it. Have a great day. Remember, tomorrow I'll do a daily check-in. In fact, I think I mentioned the topic I'll go over, but don't worry about it. We'll talk about that tomorrow. Anyway, that is it. Have a great day. And as always,